Shalom, brothers. Welcome back to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel, where we help men learn how to live set apart, live more obedient to the word of the Most High, and navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. Man, today's video, man, you're in for a treat because I'm going to talk about something that, man, if you're a married man or if you're in a relationship with a woman and this happens to you, man, you need to be prepared for it. Okay, you may watch my channel, you may watch other channels, but this is a channel designed for men to learn how to live set apart and to be in alignment with the will of the Most High. The reason that is because the Most High gave us an example in Messiah Yeshua HaMashiach, and then also in the book of Ecclesiastes, he says, fear Yah and keep the commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. But man, when you are dealing with a woman or wife that does not support you watching content like this, man, you've got a serious situation on your hands. And today I'm going to talk about why the modern woman, she's going to reject this type of content. I'm going to talk about why she rejects it. Why she will, although I can be saying everything to you as a man that's in alignment with righteousness, why she rejects it. Today we're going to dive into that. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave like everyone else. You were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Ruach Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. Man, there are a lot of men out here that give male advice. Some of them give red pill advice and it don't have nothing to do with righteousness, and it leads men to rebellion and lawlessness. You've got some men out here that give dating advice and all of this stuff and or marriage advice, and these men ain't never been married, never been successful in marriage, never been in alignment with the will of the Most High. But 9 times out of 10, man, if you're entertaining a woman and you're watching that stuff, she's not going to like it. And it's not really the message that she's against. She is in rejection of, she doesn't want you awoke to the manipulation that's been going on. But before I dive deeper into this one, man, because I tell you, there's men out there that are going through this. I've experienced this myself. Before I dive into this, man, I need every brother out there, man, to smash that like button. Show your support. Doesn't cost you anything. Secondly, man, subscribe to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel if you're serious about your walk and being a set apart man. Thirdly, man, drop a comment down below answering the question, why do you think women reject their man watching red pill content? Let me know what you think, man. Let's start the conversation. Let's start the dialogue. When you look at my introduction, I use that clip or that audio from the movie The Matrix and a voiceover from that. But when I give you this content on the Set Apart Man YouTube channel, it's read in the fashion of, man, you're walking towards set apartness. You're walking towards alignment with the will of the Most High. See, on a carnal sense, man, there is a community that is giving you red pill content according to the flesh, but it never aligns man with righteousness. But specifically, when you come across this content and you're like, man, this is the first time that I'm hearing this stuff. This is the first time that a man, I'm hearing a man speak like this. Man, if your woman finds out what you're watching, man, she's gonna be at your throat like cats and dogs. She's gonna be like a bat out of hell. She's not gonna like it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Man, a lot of these women out here want a man that is naive and gullible and does not know his divine role, his divine authority. When a man does not know his divine purpose and role according to the Most High Yah, she can begin to get you to become what it is she wants you to be. She can, by then act as your creator and giving you governing instructions as to how you're supposed to conduct yourself or go about your life as a man, as a husband, as a father, in all facts of life. This is why a lot of women want these subservient men. You think about women like Gabrielle Union. Man, what would make her be attracted to a man that paints his fingernails and is starting a fingernail polish line? The reality is he's easily manipulated. You got to think, man, an effeminate man don't have the fight in him that a normal man would. He's sissified. A lot of women want these men that are high earning but subservient. Why? Because they get the benefit of your resources but get 100% control, command and control over you. In the Most High Yah established where a woman shall have no authority over a man. So it's content like this that she's going to fight against, because I'm teaching you how to walk in your divine authority, not for the betterment of not only your marriage, your family. I'm teaching you to walk in your divine authority for your salvation's sake. Men, man, I want you to go check out a channel called The Happy Wife School. This is a lady that tells her shortcomings in marriage and details her journey of overcoming some of these issues, as well talks about a lot of the issues of manipulation that a lot of these wives are doing to control their husband, to control the narrative, to control the situation. And guess who? Guess who is always in the comments rejecting her videos? Rebellious women. Man, I want you to think about this. Man, a lot of what Kevin Samuels said was good stuff, but that doesn't change the fact that he died in fornication. A lot of his stuff that he said was actually valid, but guess what? You were looking at a man that was extremely hated by women. I've never seen it to where a man hated so much by women can create a profitable business by getting women who hate him to call in and pay for interviews to display their hate for him. I want you to think about that. Kevin Samuels didn't go out and find these women and try to get them to do free interviews. These women were paying for sessions to get on here and outline their disdain for what he was doing. They were trying to cut off the head of somebody that was getting a lot of men to understand the way these women are operating is not correct. So they were trying to call in and do whatever they could do. Call in and gaslight, straw man arguments, attack his character, attack what he had built. Meanwhile, they were paying to do it. Man, I tell you, man, my own wife hated some of the stuff that he talked about. But the reality was, certain things that he talked about that were actually biblically valid, man, caused me to look at my own wife and say, you know what? What is in you that is rejecting that? And the reality was, there was a point of time in my life where I wasn't walking in my divine role and divine authority. And guess what? My wife didn't like any of that. She didn't like any of the stuff where people were stressing the importance of keeping the commandments, rejecting worldly holidays. She didn't like none of that. Probably still don't like it till this day. But at the end of the day, like the word says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High Yahweh. This is not gonna be up for negotiation. And once men learn how to walk in their divine authority, walk in their biblical function as men, being strong and courageous rather than being fearful and frightened. Man, when you look at the word manipulation, it is the act of influencing or controlling someone in an underhanded or subtle way to achieve a personal goal, often by exploiting their vulnerabilities. Common tactics include guilt tripping, flattery, withholding or distorting information, or using threats or fear. Manipulation can also appear in broader contexts as well. But I want you to think, man, your woman wants you vulnerable. When you look at the word, let's look this word up. Vulnerable. She wants you vulnerable. Vulnerable is an adjective that means susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. She wants you vulnerable. She wants you to allow the attack. Do you think an enemy wants you to fight against the attack? Or are they looking for somebody that they can attack easily? And a lot of these women, when you look at these houses that are ran by women, these families that are being led by women, and some of the stuff that they tolerate, of course she don't want you walking in your divine authority as a man, because you're going to say, man, I don't promote my daughter being LGBT. I don't promote my son being LGBT. I don't promote you doing half the stuff you do as a woman. No, she doesn't want that. She wants you to be like, well, I'm just going to go with the flow, baby, whatever to make you happy. You know, like that's the mindset of a subservient man. Meanwhile, you're out here breaking your back for her rebellion. You got to think, man, when your woman finds out you're watching my content and you sitting up and it's the first time you realize it, where's her disdain coming from? The reality is, man, I speak to a lot of the things that the Bible already talks about, but most men haven't. Like, if you grew up in Sunday church, I guarantee you've never heard or ever heard read in your Sunday sun worship in church Ecclesiasticus chapter 25. You've never heard about the Proverbs 5. You never heard about the Proverbs 7, the Proverbs 9, the woman dressed as a harlot. You've never heard about some of this stuff because the church in itself has been busy indoctrinating men with this happy wife, happy life stuff, and it ain't biblical. So I'm telling you, men, man, you better be prepared, because when your woman comes against you watching this content and I'm trying to get you aligned with the will of the Most High, man, the word says a man's enemy will be that of his own household. It's going to be your wife and children that turn against you, especially if you stand for righteousness. But doesn't the book tell you to prepare your soul for persecution? You can't walk according to the will of the Most High Yah and not experience persecution. If you ain't experiencing no persecution for your walk, man, you ain't walking with the Most High. That's the reality of it. Man, men, when she comes and she's going to call herself telling you about yourself. You don't need to watch that. I don't know. And here's some of the stuff she's going to say. I don't really know what it is about him that I don't like, but I just don't like it. She's going to come with some stuff like that because she can't argue when I'm giving you stuff verbatim from the book. A lot of the stuff, when you hear me paraphrasing or quoting scripture, all you got to do is Google the what I'm paraphrasing or quoting, and the scripture will come up on Google. And next thing you know, as a man, you'll be reading passage after passage, and you're like, why has nobody ever shown me this? How come the church doesn't talk about this stuff? See, the church does not promote biblical marriage. The church promotes Western marriage. And they're not the same. They're not the same at all. See, Western marriage promotes this women being the head, women ruling over men, having authority over men. And if you come against that as a man, you're the problem. That's Western marriage, but that ain't biblical marriage. You come over here, you're going to get it straight up the middle, raw and true. And that's why this is the Set Apart Man channel. That's why this is the channel when women comment on foolishness, they get deleted or get left on red. I don't even have the time to entertain their rebellion. And I'm too wise to entertain their rebellion. There's been plenty of women. I don't like what your channel is doing. This channel is wicked. You're going to get left on red. You're going left on red because you got to think this channel is called The Set Apart Man, a channel designed to help men learn how to live set apart, be more obedient to the will of the Most High, and navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. Men, when you stand up for truth, like the book says, strive for truth until death, man, these women want you under the command of lies. They want you vulnerable. They want you susceptible to their attack. They want to be able to launch these attacks and manipulate you, while you're naive, while you're gullible. And the reality is, man, they don't want you operating in the logic the Most High Yah gave you. They don't want you operating in the wisdom of the Most High. Okay, a lot of Western men that get married don't know the biblical roles and responsibilities and functions of biblical marriage. You only know what you've been programmed by the Western Christian church. You only know what you saw mama and daddy do. You only know what the culture is promoting. But what if all that stuff that you have been experienced and witnessed and programmed by is not what the Most High Yah, demands and commands? I get you to dive back in that word. And once you start realizing, okay, if your wife is manipulating you, there's a high probability she's religious. There's a high probability she says, the Most High, God knows my heart. I love JC. I love God. But here's the breakdown. The word says, for this is the love of Yahweh, that we obey his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome or grievous. When you think about that, and you're reading what the biblical husband and the biblical wife is supposed to be doing, and you're saying, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is the standard for godly women. I'm telling you why she's rebelling against it. She's rebelling against it because she's been manipulating you the whole time. And you're just finding out. I'm telling you that she's going to reject it because she's a lip service worshiper. She's a deceivable seed. Let me give you another passage. Let me give you another passage just to help you out. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. See, you got a lot of Western women, Christian as they are, religious as they are, lip service worshiping as they are. They don't fear the Most High and they don't keep his commandments. And they're extremely manipulative. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. They that fear Yahweh are a sure seed, and they that love him an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. So when she's reading, a rebellious, wicked woman reads the word, religious as she is, and she thinks she's the exception to the rule. She will tell you I encourage men to go back and read Proverbs 31. Let me pull this up because most men don't even know the rawness. Don't even know the rawness of what I'm giving you. I'm giving it to you straight up the middle. So when we go to Proverbs 31, man, let me go. I'm going to go to the KJV version and let me cook for a minute. See, when your woman is manipulating you and she's religious, she's going to tell you that she's a Proverbs. Oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 because you've always heard that that's been associated with good, but you don't understand the tenets and the characteristics, in the mindset of the Proverbs 31. But man, let's look at it. Proverbs 31, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. A lot of you men weren't taught righteousness by your mama. You weren't taught righteousness. You was taught from your mama. She programmed you happy wife, happy life stuff. Whatever a woman wants, you give her. You make her happy. That's what your mama loaded you up. But King Lemuel's mama was teaching him according to righteousness. We go down, verse 3 of Proverbs 31, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. Come on, man. So when you're looking at Proverbs 31, man, it's talking about what you should be seeing in your wife while she's walking around rebellious and manipulative as she is, talking about, I'm a Proverbs 31, God's favor on me. It's all just a tactic to manipulate you to where, man, oftentimes when let me tell you something, when she calls you out and she's like, I don't like you watching my content. If you gonna watch this content, it's just over. Men, men, that's why the word says, study to show yourself approved, rightly dividing the word. When you think about that, most men have been raised being told what the word is, but you ain't spent no time learning the word. So she easily can manipulate and out debate and out argue you with religious mumbo jumbo because you don't know where to go in the word to find what it is I'm talking about. You know, you ain't spent no time learning what righteousness is. You go over to Deuteronomy, man, it says, this shall be your righteousness, to obey the commandments of the Most High Yahweh. That's righteousness. So if the Most High is outlining for virtuous women to be modest, to be meek, to be submissive, to be cooperative, to be agreeable, to be chaste keepers at home, reverent to their husbands, and you don't have that, and you're realizing, oh snap, bro, this is the standard. That means you've been getting manipulated the whole time. And once you wake up, she doesn't like the fact that you're waking up because the dynamic is about to change. And brothers, there's a high probability. Let me be honest with you. There's a high probability that she might be up and out of there because you've been allowing her to take advantage of you for so long. She's just going to go find somebody else that's going to let her manipulate them. She's just going to go find somebody gullible and naive. You got to think, man, a lot of these women, we're in a daytime and hour and a culture where these women love men who on the outside appearance have the appearance of masculinity. You think about a Dwayne Wade. He's got the appearance, okay, very athletic, very tall. You got women would line up with this man, but look at what's going on in that house. Look at some of the stuff. The family in full support of gay children. Oh, gay children. You know, this man up here openly, oh yeah, these my fingernail. I shouldn't show them. I ain't had them done in a while. And I'm launching my new fingernail polish line. Women like men that they can control as long as these men have the appearance of masculine. But you can just look at the spirit that these men operate in. These are subservient men, controlled and governed by women. The word talks about women and children will be your oppressor as a man. So I'm telling you, man, if your woman is set apart and walking in truth, man, she will, there's women out there that on my other channel, I say some of the same stuff, but I allow women to entertain and comment and things like that. And they're in full support because they're in alignment with the will of Yah. But you're going to find out, okay, you yourself as a man haven't been in alignment with the will of the Yah. And because of that, man, you haven't chosen or selected a woman or a wife that's in alignment with the will of the Yah. You chose her according to your flesh. And now you're having to deal with, man, that thing doing a total 180. I'm telling you, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it. Any of the men that helped me realize, oh, snap, bro, I've been indoctrinated. I've been operating according to society and Western culture, but have not been operating according to the will of Yah. Any of the men that I knew or were watching that was commandment keepers, feared the Most High Yah, and came straight up the middle with the truth, man, women ain't gonna like. My wife didn't like. Point blank, period. Why? Because I was aligning the household with how the Most High Yah expected. Whereas, you know, a man that's not in alignment with the will of Yah will just be sitting up allowing everything, not tolerating anything, not navigating anything according to righteousness. Man, don't expect women to support your awakening. Don't, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You've got women out here that, man, they would curse, they would use all kind of vulgarity and try to attack Kevin Samuels, and now they're out making videos. I hate to admit it. He tried to tell us that it was going to be a cold winter. But they didn't came to the realization, and that man's gone after they didn't tried to crucify him. Man, I'm telling you, your woman is going to be the first one to try to persecute you for standing in righteousness. And over here, on the Set Apart Man YouTube channel, we talk about it. We talk about it straight up the middle. Straight up the middle. And I want you to think, as a man, you got to care about, let me leave you with this, because this is weighty. And your salvation depends on this. You have to care more about your salvation and your walk with the will of the Most High Yah than appeasing her feelings. Man, a woman in her fleshly capacity, religious, lip service worshiping, rebellious as a lot of them are, their main goal is to manipulate you and to get you to acquiesce and capitulate. And over here on the Set Apart Man channel, I'm here today to tell you that that's not how the Most High Yah wanted you to operate. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. And until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of the Most High Yahweh.